another amazing day at fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. The lamp currently is broke, so my lighting's a little off, sorry. And it's also winter, so it's much darker outside, so I don't have natural lighting. Hello, I'm sitting in my spooky broadcasting room talking to you guys. Welcome. We're here to talk about the wonderful FileMaker platform. I'm here with Nick Hunter, who is a really, truly fantastic FileMaker developer. He really knows how to push FileMaker to its limits. We just finished a wonderful 9-day series, which I have the demo file for. People have been asking for that for a while. Nick is here to start a new series, speaking of which I'll pull up the live training schedule. We have our Thursday today, Thursday, we're manipulating dates and time frames of the Claris and FileMaker for day 1. Friday, we're going to be doing an open Q&A. Monday will be the FileMaker Monkey Bread plugin 13.0 updates. Tuesday, we'll be doing manipulating dates and times. Wednesday, we'll be doing manipulating dates and times. We'll finish off that mini-series, and then Nick will start the creating, deleting, and duplicating related records as another mini-series. It'll be quite entertaining. So, but if you'd like to support the channel, you'd greatly appreciate it. We have our FM Training annual subscription bundle. If you've bought it already, thank you very much. Basically, if you're like, man, these series are pretty cool, but I want to talk about very specific issues in FileMaker, or you want to learn FileMaker completely from the ground up, I highly recommend you pick this up. They're all like 10 to 20 minute videos, bite-sized, animated, very short, nice, eatable chunks, frankly, in terms of knowledge. So, and if you've got gaps in your knowledge, it's also a good thing to do. Thank you again if you picked it up and supported us. It helps keep the channel running. Welcome, everybody. Let's get started. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, Marge. How are you today?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much. So thank you for the introduction, and thank you everybody for joining today this new series. So I'm very excited because I love talking about something that is heavily ignored and impossible to find any information about what we are going to cover in the internet, because I did my research, right? So I know there's absolutely nothing, because it's kind of when we manipulate dates, always it's a big mess, because dates and years and month, and it's a big mess. So, and FileMaker is not really generous with this. Okay, so we don't have a lot of flexibility out of the box, but we are going to see that we can build our own flexibility, right? So it's we can build our own stuff, right? So today we are going to learn about the date function. Okay, the date function, the get as date function, and how to manipulate all of those things. So what are we going to cover? So let me share my screen right quick here. So we have a lot to cover in 3 days. I try to crunch everything, but so here my screen. So what we are going to learn is how to manipulate the month, the days, and how to get range of dates and stuff like that, how to ignore some days, and how to get a week of 1 month, and how to get a month of 1 year, all of those things. That it's not something that FileMaker let us do or out of the box. It's kind of tricky sometimes. It's not complicated, but if you don't know about this, you can stay days and weeks try to figure out how this works. And we are going to give you all the tips and all the tricks, on hand, right? So it's this is why we join here today, right? So this dates series came to my mind because I recently did a extensive work on this for a customer. So that was asking me that for crazy things, right, with dates. So I had to, be innovative, right? So that's why I know there's absolutely nothing on the internet, because I search to see if somebody do something, and when I find something, and sometimes I say, what the heck is going on there? so I said, okay, let's try, and let's do with my own, type of technique that I'm using all the time. So you heard me many times talking about list of values, right? So I come to always, list of value is my mother. So I come to mom, right? So I come to mom all the time, because it's sell my butt all the time, right? So that's why I love my list of values, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you. And again, so I know I already covered some of this, scatter on many webinars, but people said sometimes it's hard to follow because I'm talking about something during one webinar, talking about something else. Now what I try to do, I try to get one topic and talk about this topic and not mixing multiple topic. Even sometimes it's cool to, during when we talk about something, we can jump on something else because we have a question or we have it popped to my mind something, right? So let's start. So what I want to first do, right? Want to show you how the date works on FileMaker, right? Because it's very peculiar, right? So let's have a date. So the 1st January of 2023. Okay. So I have a date here. It looks like a date, right? It looks like a date, right? It could be considered as a date, right? But this is not a date. Okay. So if I set +1, I get this. Okay. It consider that a number. So he switched this to a number, right? Right? He switched this to a number. So this is text, and suddenly this is number, right? But he's not considering that as a number, as a date, right? So that's why we can say here to get as dates. So now he considered that as a date because when I add something here, is adding days. So the dates in FileMaker, the lowest level of a date in FileMaker is the day, right? It said days, day, month, year. This is the hierarchy. I know it's not month, day, year. It's day, month, year. This is the hierarchy. The day is the first, then the month, then the year. Okay, which is logical. Okay, the US/UK/ or way of putting the month first, and then that was our aberration in my opinion. But you have other countries. I have our 4 country in my blood, so I know we have this other country doing something different, right? So I know for France, for example, it's day, month, year, right? And FileMaker has this logical a way of thinking, like day, month, year, which is the smallest to the biggest. Okay, not the medium, then the smallest, then the bigger. Month, day. Okay. So if I'm adding something here, if I'm adding a unit, right, a digits to a date, right? If I'm adding this to a date, FileMaker will add it. If I'm adding a number, FileMaker will add this as a day. You can see here, right? If I say this is 1st of January, 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, because he's adding from the 1st, he's adding 6 days, so that's the 7th. Okay. But if we have a date, right? If we have a field defined as a date in the date definition, right? So if I go there and I say this is, this is a date, a type of the field dates, FileMaker will natively consider that as a date. If I'm adding on the March 4th, 2021, I'm adding 1, it will be March 5th. So I don't need to say get as dates. The get as dates is there when you want to convert something that is not a date to a date. Okay, this is why the function exists. Okay, so that's the first thing. So now we have another function. This is for the get as dates. Then we have other function, a function that is interesting, right? It's the date function. So the date function is Very interesting. Okay. Because this is where you can start manipulating the data, the dates, right? So we start there. That's the starting point. Okay. So if I put here month 2, day 3, year 2023, that is a date, right? It's a date as I know that because if I do this, he added a day, so we know this is a date. Okay, so FileMaker will consider that as a date. Okay, and then will, since it considered that as a date, all the logic you can use with this will apply to a date type of data. Okay, so if I'm adding 1, it will add a day, right? Okay. So now we want to do something, right? So we want to do like, I want to add a month to that. So let's do something like this. We have a let statement here, okay? And I'm going to take my dates. So like today date, today. Today is get current date, okay? So that's what I want, that today, right? Right? And then I want to extract, right? I want to extract the month out of today. I want the month of today, right? I want the month. So we have a function named month, right? So this is today month, right? So I want the month of today, right? And then I want today year. We have a function for that will extract the year of the today, right? So let's see how this works. Yes, I know. It's missing some semicolon. Okay. Okay. So here, so now let's have a look how this works. Okay. Today, return. Why is it not working? Hold on. Oh, okay. Today, return today date. Okay. Today, month, return 1. Today, year, return 2023. So we are in January of 2023, and today is the 26th. Okay. So now I want to manipulate a little bit this, right? Let's say I want to do something. I want to add a month worth of days to a date. So you will say, okay, I'm taking today date, right? And I'm saying plus 30. Yeah. Yes, but no. There's 31 days in January. Okay, no problem. But what happened if the month is 30 days? What happened if it's February? And sometime you have 29 days in February. Sometime you have 28 days in February. So how you do that? Because this doesn't work. This cannot work. It will never add you a month or 2 months or 3 months. Let's say I want to add 3 months to a date. How I'm doing this? How I know that January 23 it's 31 day, and this year is 28 days, but next year in 2024 that will be 29 days in February, and there's 30 days in 31 day in March. How I know that? How I can say plus 3 months plus 90 days? It's not 90 days. It's 79 days. It's 89 days, by the way. So how I'm doing this? How I'm doing this? So that's what I want to do. I want to show you. This is where the date function can take over. The date function is a smart function, right? That has some trick and hidden functionality. Let's say I want to take the today month, okay? And I can add the today day. You know, so we have a day function that extracts the day of a date. Okay. Day extract the day of a date, month extracts the month of a date, and year extracts the year of the date. So that's easier, you know. So I have the today month, I have the today day, and the today year. So this is there, right? And then I want to add 2 months, 3 months, right? 4 months, right? So this is how FileMaker works. It will add exactly what it needs to add to the day. You know, you want to add a month to a date, you add the month using that function. It works the same. You want to add 15 days, for example. I want to add 15 days to that date, right? Right? So I'm adding 15 days to that date, right? And I want to add a year, for example, but you know, so you want to add a year to a date. How you do that? You cannot say plus 365 because sometimes we have 364. Ha, how you do that? You know, that function will take care of that. That function will take care of that, right? It will add a year, whatever is 364 or 365 days, right? So this is how we do. Now, that being said, that's very simple. So the date function, right? So now I want to do something. I want to know the last day of a month, right? So how you do that, for example? I want to know the last day. I want to know when February will end. Okay, if it's 28 days, 29, 31, 30, I want to know that, right? So let's say I want to take the today month. I'm putting 1 here, right? So I want to know when February ends, because let's say I don't know it's 31 day, right? But I want to know that. So I'm doing this. I'm adding a month to the 1st of January. So 1st of January, I'm adding a month, right? And I'm subtracting a day. So it ends on the 31st. Why? Because that's the power of this function. It takes the month of February, because that will be January plus 1 is February. And if I'm subtracting a day, it is smart enough to say, okay, what is the day before the 1st of January? Is the 31st of January. What is the day before the 1st of February? Is the 31st of January, right? Let's play with this like this. So what will be the end of February? Oh, right? The end of February will be 28. The end of March, the end of April, the 8th of May, the end of June, the end. Okay, so see, it keeps changing 30, 31, because it's smart enough to say, okay, when you want the end of the month, you go to the next month and you subtract 1 day. This is how you get the end, the last day of the month, right?
Today I was working on this. It works fine, but I don't exactly know why month -3 adjusts the year as well. And he kind of gave an example of a
Oh, yeah, of course he will. Oh, good question. Thank you for that. I forgot about this.
yes.
It's fantastic. Huh. Let's say I want to go the first of the first 2023, right? 1st January of 2023. And I'm subtracting 1. smart enough to go to 2022. Because the date function has a very peculiar way to work. And this is how you manipulate those things, right? Because it's smart enough to say, yeah, the day, if I subtract the day of the 1st January of 2023, of course, it will be the 31st December of last year. Of course, right? So that's something you cannot do if you don't use a date function. If you don't use a date function, let's say you do something crazy like this, you do 0, 1, and because I saw that, right? 0, 0, 1, and 2023. Okay, it looks like first of all, let's do something like this. Let's say like this, right? And you get as date, and you want to manipulate. It won't work, right? You need the date function. The date function is what saves you to do all those things, all those manipulations. So yeah, of course it goes down, And if I remove, I can play a little bit like this. Let's say I am on February and I'm removing 3 months out of February. It go back to November of last year because I removed 3 months, so it's November, right? So it's working on every case scenario. Every case scenario will work, right? So you can use that stuff. So now that I opened the Pandora box for you, play with this and be my guest, okay? So if you don't have any question, I want to follow with my other topic here.
I think you're good. Keep going.
Okay. So let's save this. So now let's play a little bit with all of this, okay? So you cannot do anything if you don't go to the file that you always have my custom function that I have. I have 2 custom functions, very important here. The range or the time frame, which is the same. Range and time frame do the same thing. And you need those 2, right? You need the get value position, right? And I'm going to, as we advance, I'm going to explain that how it works, okay? So thanks to those, the range function is something very simple. It's a function I create, range, and you say starts, you put 1, and then you say 10, it builds 1 to 10. If you put a date, it will, if you say start date, and you go end date, it will build you, the gap between the start date and the end date, right? So this is the range custom function that I use, okay? So we need this. So now I want to do something here, okay? First of all, FileMaker, it is impossible if I want to if I say FileMaker April, if I put April, FileMaker has no way to know this is the 4th month of the year. No way. Oh, it can tell me the opposite. Definitely it can tell me the opposite. I have the month name, right? But on the date, I cannot put 4 here and tell me, oh, actually, I don't know why it's returned January, by the way. I put 4, right? I cannot do that month name 4. It needs a date. It needs a date. March, right? It knows this date is March and this date is January, right? So to get the month name, it will get the month name of a date, but not of a number. We cannot do that, right? You understand? So, and sometimes I don't want to put a date. I want to put a name. I want to put a name or a number. And so how I'm doing this, right? Very easy. Thanks to our friend, the value list, we have a very simple value list here, right? We okay with this? Okay. So we have a very simple value list, January to December. Okay. And now, thanks to that value list, right, I can use get value of my value list. The name of the value list is month. And I want the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. So I know that the seventh month of the year, its name is July, because I'm using the value list. So that's easy. But now we have another custom function of mine, right? Get value position. I want the opposite. So I'm searching string, right? I want April, right? And here is the value list items. So it's my friend, the value list, right? April is the 4th month of the year. May, it's the 5th. June is the 6th. December is the 12th. So thanks to the list of value all the time, right? I'm coming back to mom, right? I can have both. I give a name, but I need a custom function for that, but I'm giving you the custom function for free, okay? So thanks to this, now I can and we have no way with FileMaker to do that, right? So that's why we don't. So thanks to this, so thanks to this custom function, they're not that complicated, by the way. Custom function, get value position, search text, number of character. Okay, so you don't need to. Just you put whatever you search for and where. Okay, so that works for everything, right? Works for everything. Every list of value will work. Okay. So thanks to that custom function, I know putting a string, I have the position in the value list, right? So now I can do something like this. 23 May 26. Now I have my dates built. June. Now June. July. August. Right? Right? And I get the month number automatically. FileMaker doesn't give a damn about March. I cannot say FileMaker will never give me any date if I say June 26, 2023. I can't do anything with this. That will never work with FileMaker. Okay. So, but here now, 2023, April 26. That's my birthday, by the way. And I didn't do that on purpose. Okay. It's a good sign, right? I hope so. So you understand now, right? So now I can have something human. I can build a date a human way. Okay. I can hide this, right? So I can hide this, right? Let's hide this. And I can use, 24 June and 27, right? So this is a human way, okay? So now let's have fun a little bit, right? So let's unhide this. Now we learned, right, that if I put 2023 January how many days I should have in that list here? 31, right? Of course. But if I put February, how many days I should have? 28. But next year is 29. Haha. So how I'm doing this? Because now I have a very smart date creator, right? A very cool one. Because if I put February, if I put this, and if I have a non-smart day entry, and I said 2024 February 31, it won't work, right? It won't work. It goes under, because there's no 31 day in February. You understand? So we need a smart pop-up menu here with the exact number of days. So if I put May, I have 31. If I put June, I have 30, right? And the demo and the killing demo is in 2024, 29 days, and 2023, 28 days, right? So how I'm doing this, how I'm building this, right? So we have a value list here, I call days, based on the field day range. So what's day range? Let's have a look. Yes, it's the range custom function. And you can see I'm using the date function with the day function. So I'm using the date within the day function. So pretty much what I'm doing here, that's very simple. First, I'm putting the month number. Remember, the month number is taking out of my value list based on the name of the month. So April will be 4, March will be 5. So I have the month number. Because the dates in FileMaker, we need a number for the month. We can, and I just explained that to you, right? Then I have the year. So the year I selected in my year, right? In my year field here, right? And then I want to extract, right? The first day of that month and year. So that's easy. I'm putting dates, the date function, I'm putting whatever, because the date is formulating like this. That's the date function. Okay? So let's put that here. So the date function is month, day, year. So whatever month, return of the month number, the first day, because I want the first day, right? I want to build from the first day of the month to the last day of the month. So I'm putting the first day, and then I have the year. Then that will be the day one, not day one, okay, of the month. And then I want to calculate, okay, the last day of the month number of that year. Remember, it is important to have both because I cannot just count on the on the month, because January will change, February will change every 4 years, right? So I need a year. So I'm extracting the day of the dates built on the selected month plus 1, okay? And we can put the -1 at the end, or we can put that here. That's the same. But let's put that here. So I'm selecting the month plus 1. So I'm going to the next month. So I'm going to if I put April here, I'm going May, the 1st of May, and then I subtract 1 day. So I'm going back to the last day of the month, right? And then I have 2 numbers here. 1, 2, this could be 21, 28, 29, 30, 20, 31. Okay, it could be that. So, and then I'm using that field, right? I'm using that field in the value list, right? Then now I have a very smart, list of values, a value list. So this is how we build a date selector. So questions?
Nothing on YouTube or Twitch. Again, people, if you got questions, please ask them. Andy, are there date functions in FM to get stuff like an hour's difference between two dates or stuff, like ISO formatting, so you can set the format yourself?
To set the formats of dates?
Yes.
No, that's another story with FileMaker. So we have to carry the burden of a dinosaur from the dinosaur time. It's no, yeah, it's like the primitive. It's like our primitive instinct as human, right? So FileMaker has this primitive instinct from the 1980s, and we carry that as since then, the date formats, right? So that is a big story. I remember I made a webinar like 4 years ago or 5 years ago based on this date formats. Maybe Marge, if you have the courage to do that, to find in the YouTube buried date formats.
I can go see if I can hunt it down. Yeah.
Nick Hunter date format FileMaker has something like this. I remember I did an extensive demo, and this didn't change since the first day of FileMaker. So if it's in 4 years ago, it's still accurate, because even if it was 30 years ago, it was still accurate. So no, we don't. We cannot change changing the date formats. It's a pain, because dates are considered as a date. If you get out, so it will be like it will look like a date if you change the format. But it will be a text. It will be a piece of text. It will never be a date. Right, so it's a big story. The date format is a big story with FileMaker, right? So if we don't have another question, I'm going to switch to another topic. Ta-da! Okay, so this is a big topic in FileMaker, right? So I demonstrate that many times, but I want to make a webinar based on this specific topic, the date range. The date range, between, okay, I want 10 days, 15 days, and stuff like this, right? So for example, here I have a date. So let's pick up my birthday. I like it. So, and I want to add, 10 days out of this, right? I want to add 10 days out of this. So this is what I've done. So there's two ways to calculate this. So starting the next day, so you add today after the date, right? So from the 27th to the 6th, or including the dates of the selector, and then we have from the 26th to the 5th, right? So how this works, okay? So we have a while function. So the while function, I have a demo on this exactly topic on the, so we have a while function recent webinar. So maybe March, you can find that too. But I can, so it's very simple. The while function is something that will recurring, continuing, doing something until, this is how the while function is formulating. Right? So this is whatever I want to declare at the beginning. So this is this part. Okay. I'm declaring everything I need to use in the condition and the logic and the results. So I need to put the condition, right? I want the condition. So I put the initial, I put the initial variable. So I need the date, the max count, the counter, and the results. That's what I need. That because I'm using the counter here, the max count here, the counter here again, the result again here, the date I'm using here, the counter here, and the result. So I need to declare this in the function. All what I'm going to use here, I need to declare it in the initial variable. Okay. Then I have the condition. The condition is this will continue to do it until the condition is met. While, that's why they call that while. While this is accurate, it continue. So until the counter, while the counter is inferior to the max count, this will continue. When the counter will be more than the count, right, are more greater than the max count, then it stops. Okay. And when I'm doing so, the counter will be each time it go a turn like this, right? It will add 1 to the counter. So it's counter plus 1. So the first counter will be 1 because it will be 0 plus 1. And then the next one will be 1 plus 1, then 2 plus 2, then 3 plus 3, 2 plus 1, and 3 plus 1, and 4 plus 1, and 5 plus 1. Okay. And then what the result is, whatever the result of the previous loop, right? And add the date plus the count, the date plus the counter, okay? And a Claris return. So we have a webinar dedicated for this. So I'm not going to explain that. I want to show you this, how that works. So this function here returns to me a list of values. Okay. A list of values. So we can include it or not include it or not include, right? But I can add 2 days, I can add 7 days, right? I can add, like for example, I'm calculating the number of days in the month, like we did, remember? So I can mix, I can do something like this and say whatever, I'm copying this. Yeah, so I can say, for example, I'm changing this. Yeah, let me do this. I'm going to the fix included, and I want to, yes, but I cannot do that. The max count, right? I can go to take my month, my day, right? Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. It's okay. Tomorrow, I'm going to prepare that. I prefer to prepare it, but because I don't want to break my demo. So okay, but let's say this month is 31 days, so I have 31 days, right? So I can add whatever I want here, right? So I'm adding the number of days, and the while function will build this. Then we can do the same between, like the first, like this, right? And the 1st of February of 2023. So that I have 1 month worth, right? Oh, it's 2, 1, okay, here. So from the 1st to the 31, right? So here the same. So that not included and that not included and included, right? So here it starts the day before and then ends, right? But this one is including. So we have two things, right? So this is how you extract. So that's the same. So this one here, right? This one here, the name of is a wide range, right? The wide range. So it's the same custom function, a little bit more elaborated, okay? So with different, so instead of having a count of days, I'm saying the dates inferior from the max date, right? So that's the only difference we have. Here I was saying the counter of the max count, that means the number of days I want to add here. And this here I'm doing between 2 dates, okay? The dates inferior to the max dates. Okay. So now I don't want to take question right now, but I want to follow up. Okay. So this is great. Okay, because thanks to this, so I did a demo the last 2 weeks, right, on doing the report stuff. But now we can have, let's say I'm positioning myself in 2021, for example, and I want 5 days, starting on April 21. And this is the record because here I have some data. I have my 10,000 record here, and I have dates, right? And I want a relationship, right? I want the records between that day and that day, right? So I want 5 days worth of, or 10 days worth, right, of related data. So you see, it ends on the 4th of 10 because I don't have 11 here. I don't have data with 11, but it goes from this, and it gets me all the data that it can find with the relationship. And then, because here it will be difficult, right? I mean, not clean to do their relationship using this freaking greater than, less than stuff like that. No, I'm getting that field. I'm getting that field where I have my date here. I'm using that as a primary key in a relationship that go to dates. So this is the buckets I have. And out of these buckets, right, it will look for all the fields with the date that is included in this. But here, what is interesting now, right, what I want to demonstrate is this. Let's say here you can see I have data on the 6th and the 7th, right? For April 6th, I have data. I want to remove that 2 days. Bam, gone. Let's remove the 8th. Gone. So how you do this without doing this technique, how you can extract a day if you use a non-smart monolithic hard-coded greater than, lesser than, how you do that? How you do like what I just did. For example, let's do an example. I'm going there, right? And I am going to the end of January. So this is 1 month worth, and I'm pointing this to that field. So I have a node to the wide range included, to the wide range included. So I'm taking this field as a primary key, right? So here I have 1 month worth of data, okay? From the first to the last he found. So if the last one he found was on 25th, okay? Even though this one goes more, but it didn't find any record after that, right? There's no record in that table that match more than 25. So let's say now I'm using a non-smart way, okay? If I say the start date, right? It's inferior to the dates, and I'm adding this, and I said, I'm deleting this. I think it's this one, right? The start date inferior to the start date, yeah. And the end dates, superior or equal, I think. And this one the same. If I'm doing this, so I have the same results, right? But I want to remove the 24th. I don't want that date. How do you do that? Tell me. I mean, I want something. I want to remove the 23, 24, and 25. How am I doing this? I have no way to do that because I did a blip way like this. No. Let's delete this. Boom. I have my while range included. Boom. Add. Equal. Simple. I don't want the rather than, better than, But now I'm here and I said, remember, I want to remove the 25th and the 24th. Okay. So this stuff here. I'm removing the 23, 24, and 23, right? Look here. Boom. Gone. I want to remove the 14. Gone. Right? So now, before the question, let me finish this, please. We can go to the big thing, right? And having the same thing here to this one, haha, and make this a little bit bigger and paste this here. Okay. So let me make this a little bit smaller and this one a little bit smaller, and let me rearrange a little bit this and this and this and this to have like this. Okay. So now, okay, let's play a little bit like this with this, right? I want to ignore the weekends. So good luck to you guys if you want to do that with the non-smart way, greater than, better than, whatever than technique, right? But here, very simple. I have a while function that do that for me, and you can see, so let's make this a little bit bigger. From the first, I have 1 month here, right? And I'm ignoring the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Monday, Friday, Monday, Friday. So I'm ignoring my weekends, right? So that's the date including, so that I'm going to use that, no weekend, no weekends, right? I'm using this. And I want to use this, and I don't want the weekend here in my related data, right? So I have this now. Boom, no weekends. I don't have weekend here. I don't have, Saturday and Sundays. For example, we see here that the 6th is a Friday and the 9th is a Monday, right? So let's go to the 6th, and it jumps straight to from the 6th to the 9th. No weekends, right? So thanks to a while function, I have watched the video of the while function, right? But I wanted to make sure that everybody understands how that works, because the buckets, I'm building my buckets here, and the relationship will do all for me to get me the results, right? Based on this, right? So now we can go to the next level, right? I don't want a Tuesday. I don't want a Wednesday. I want the Friday or the Sunday, the Saturday, but I don't want those 3 days. I don't want Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday. I don't want them. I don't have. It goes Monday, skip, it goes straight to Thursday. There's no Wednesday. If I'm adding Wednesday, they come back. They come. If I'm removing Wednesday, they go away, right? So now going there, and I'm saying days of week, and now this will change. If I add this, okay? So let's remove data here. So why it's not changing? Maybe I did a day of week, simple, right? or maybe, because, yeah, okay. So I remove the Mondays and the Tuesdays. So I want only the Wednesday, for example. So 1, 4, 4, 11, 18, 25. 4, 11, 18, 25. Now I want the Tuesday too. 1, 3, 10, 11, 1. So it start 1, it start 3. So 3, 4, 10. 3, 4, and 10, right? So I'm adding my days here. So now, for example, if I go, is do 1, 2, 3, 6, right? 1, so you go 2, 3, 4, and 6. But then you go to the ninth directly, right? It's not going to give me the day. So you know what I mean? So here, the Friday, skip those 2 days here, right? Here. So now you understand how to manipulate dates. The wrong way is greater than, lesser than, doesn't work. And I said that on the report last week, and I said that all the time that I'm dealing with dates because I've never used that. It's these two things here for the date. I never ever use that, never, because it doesn't work. I mean, it works, but it's too confining. So I cannot remove that because I can say, oh, I don't want those. Those look this, I'm here. I want to remove those. Okay, I remove those. Boom, they're gone, right? From our relationship, right? Or I said, oh, I want a day. I want the one, for example. I want the first, right? Boom, it's there. I add it. So, in my bucket, I can add the date, remove the date, right? Put whatever I want, you know. I can do something like this if I want. I can say 2022 and 2023, 21. Boom. That's it. Whatever the order, doesn't care. Okay. See? And I can say, no, I said 1, 2. So 1, 1. And I say 1, 1, 2020. Right? Boom. I don't have anything in 2020. Yeah. So, but you got the point here, right? So it's kind of cool, So you can add the dates and you can have a custom function that do that for you. Okay, I mean a while function that do that for you and stuff like that. So now we can take some questions. I'm right on time, 5 p.m. Right on time.
Um, Example being how to calc um like for example 3:15/23 at 10:25 a.m. to like 3:19/23 at 8:15 p.m. in hours, minutes.
Interesting question. So you want to add time. I don't see why we cannot do that. Let's have fun. You want to have fun? Let's have fun. I never did that, but we can try. So let's build how I can do that, including time, right? Because in that time, what we need to use the timestamp. So that's good. I like it because that could be a challenge, right? What happened if I'm saying get as timestamp? Okay. Let's do something else. I want to build two timestamp. Okay. So let's have a start timestamp, right? And that will be a timestamp. Then FileMaker will interpret that as a timestamp, and I'm making that global. Okay. And then I'm duplicating this, and that ends timestamp, right? So now I have the end and start, right? So now that I have my timestamp here, I can put that my timestamp here, right? So let's start the start timestamp here and the end timestamp. Okay. Because the timestamp is the combination of, right? It's a combination. So let's say I want to go until the 2 February at 1 p.m., for example. Don't need that. And from here, from, I don't know, 8 a.m. Okay. So I want this. So let's see how my range, I don't think that will work with my range stuff. So because, so let's see. So now I have this, I can play with my range stuff. I'm not sure that will work, but it's okay. We can start, we can try. Start stamp and that will give me like, yeah, it give me this because it cannot, yeah, because it goes too far away. Because when I have a timestamp and so this is a timestamp, right? And I'm adding one. Can we imagine how many records it put there? So I need to add 24. No. How many? Because the smallest, it's a second. So I need to convert that in an hour. So 3. So I need to add hours like this, right? So I need to change. That's cool because you make me build something new and I like it. So I'm going to my custom function and I'm going to do, because the time frame different is, yeah, started, ended, well, it's the same thing. So let's do duplicate range timestamp. If I work poof, time stamp. So start, and here instead of being 1 is free is 1 hour. So I'm adding 1 hour instead of adding 1 unit because before it was day. So now I have a new custom function. If it works, wish that would be cool. I like it. Range. So now you know how I'm getting fun, right? So start timestamp, end timestamp. It will still be a lot. So let's reduce the amount to see, because I'm exceeding the max, because I have a month. So let's say I have let's say I have 2 days. One 28. So I'm changing this, right? Because it's a lot of records, right? So what my custom function? Oh, because it's adding time, right? It's still too big. I'm getting too many. So let's do something else. I just want to debug this. It's funny. Let's reduce. Let's reduce. I'm going to the same day, and I'm doing this from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. What this do? This works. But it's still adding. It's still adding a second. That's why. It's still adding a second, so it's not smart enough. So I know. Oh, good demonstration. I think I know why. I'm not sure, but I think I know why. It's because here I need to get I need to add a let statement and to say start equal get as timestamp, right? Start, right? And equal get as starts, no, timestamp end. So doing this, I think this will fix it. I think. Now it will interpret this as a timestamp, not as a, because it has no way to know what is this, right? So now, no, it still consider that as a it's not smart. It's not considered that as a So let's okay. So if you want, do you want you guys to continue with this? Do you want? I'm
Uh,
asking.
I
Oh
yes.
no. Yeah. Or do you want me to stop? Are you boring with this?
Canberra says yes. Foxy Jack
Okay.
is
Okay.
typing.
Okay. So let's start with the so that starts here and that ends. So he's doing okay. So he's still doing this, right? So he's not smart enough to consider that as a timestamp, right? And I don't know why, because it has why still consider that uh you know because if I'm adding one here, it's the same, right? Of 3600, it's the same. See what a, what about this? Because what is doing here? 16666. It's really funny how this works. Start and range start plus. I think if I convert, because here I'm using a bug. I'm using a FileMaker bug. Like the tail recursive function is a bug. We are using a FileMaker failure. Um. Oh, stupid me. I'm stupid. Fixed. No. Why? Maybe now I don't need to do this. Yeah, I need to do this. It's still doing this, right? It's adding 1 second, right? It's adding 1 second, even though I'm putting. See, it's stupid. I'm adding one, start one. It's not adding, so 10. Yeah, so that's something I don't understand why it's doing this. Oh, start range timestamp. I'm thinking, right? Start and for end starts. Because to debug this, so this is how I'm doing this, right? So I'm debugging this. So I want to know how this, so this is, right? So I want to know if this works, okay? So how I'm doing this is say yes. So that works, right? But then start and this and range, so the same start plus 10 plus uh, you know, plus 360. Why it doesn't count this? It's weird. It's weird how he's doing this. He should have added, because if I say this, if I say this, if I commented out this, and I said, and start plus 360, he add an hour, right? Because the start was 8, and if I had 360, he add an hour, so you could say 10, 11, 12, and this is not doing it. Maybe because no. See, it works the first row, and then okay, so maybe I can remove this and put 360 here. Oops, yeah, this is broken completely. So I have no idea why it doesn't work. Range timestamp starts plus 3, right? And uh, and end plus 360. No, no, I have no idea why doing this. Start and group, and you do start plus 63 and no, I don't know. I think if I convert this in a while function, it will work because it has no way to understand what's going on here. So that's a good challenge. Yeah, see, it's not. It's doing the right way. Is doing the right here. Is going there and then it stop. Right? It's doing the first, the second, the third, and then start failure to end. While the start stamp and the timestamp. Okay, okay. So it's a look. It's a challenge, and I like it. I'm going to find a way to. That would be interesting because that would be powerful to say from that day, and I could even remove. I can say or remove, from that time frame. Yeah, I like the idea. I like this. I like this. I like this challenge. So I'm going to investigate why this doesn't work. Because it should do that. It should have done this. Let's do something here because I did this. So if I said this just for fun, okay? It doesn't change it. Yeah, no, because this is doing the job because
David suggests that test alone the range timestamp custom function. You can see that when it goes wrong, it adds seconds.
uh, what I should do?
Test alone the range timestamp custom functions. You can see that when it goes wrong, it adds seconds.
Yeah, so you mean if I remove this, right? It do the same. So it doesn't care because yeah, it doesn't care about this. I thought that would fix it, but yeah, I need to look. I need to this the tail recursive. Do it again. Say it again. We that use a bug, what's the name? A FileMaker vulnerability. Okay, so that's why we have the while function, right? So, but I don't want to do that right now, to convert in a while function because the while function is to me, that the most sophisticated and the most complicated function ever built. So it needs to be, thought, not, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So if we don't have another question,
I think we're good, mostly because I have to go. So,
okay, okay. So
so
let's
any follow-up questions I will ask tomorrow. So,
okay, sounds good.
thank you very much, Nick. I greatly
Thank
appreciate
you. Thank you. Bye. Bye, guys.
Everybody, we will see you tomorrow.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.